Morning everyone. Into a new week. It's actually bank holiday weekend, but I can't keep myself away from cars like this. So back in on the Skyline for a bit. I've got some really good news already, actually, over the moon. Because I texted the customer about this front bumper. So I mentioned the front bumper it's seen some better days. It's really poor. Again, it probably doesn't show up how bad it is on the camera. It's all fixable, but it would take a lot of work to fix this and make it right. And then there are the potential for any voids to be coming through later on in the process and things like that, because obviously fiberglass repairs, depending on how well it's been done to start with, you know, air voids, bubbles, it can just give us problems. And I mentioned before, if it's going to a special paint color especially, just don't want that to be causing any issues. Anyway, long story short, text customer about a potential replacement bumper. Within 5 minutes, he's got one sent to me. So we've got a brand new bumper coming, which is just brilliant news. Really helps us out hugely. Front wing as well. So I didn't actually pay much attention to this when I first got the car in, because it wasn't bolted together properly. It was just held on with cable ties for the transport. But he's asked me to have a quick look at this. We put it back on the car, and as you can see, that's not going to work. They're already massively cambered, these wheels, as you can see. So yeah, that's just not going to work. We wouldn't be able to do anything with that. So again, he's got some 30mm wider arches, and they're on the way to me straight away. So yeah, just can't thank him enough for things like that. Sending out parts straight away when we need them, absolutely phenomenal. Really put me in a very good mood, to be honest. So yeah, new wings, new front bumper. Also with the wings, I'll show you when they come in, but they're flared out because they're obviously wider. They're flared out here, which also means we don't need to worry about doing the door gap and stuff. So it's just much easier job for us then. You know, we've got enough to do on this one as is, but just little things like that really helps us along. Had a chat with him as well about all of this side of things. I've suggested we'll keep the side skirt because it's not too bad. It's got a few areas that I need to touch in and then do some work on. I've suggested also that we keep the rear bumper. Mostly for the fact that the one that he suggested is very plain, each to their own, isn't it? But it cuts off there, whereas with these wider rear quarters, it's just going to be easier for me to have this over piece, I believe. And also, in my opinion, it just matches the sides of the vented front wings a lot more. The other one was a little bit too smooth for my liking, personally. Obviously, if it's all fussy and vented at the front and then it's suddenly smooth at the back, I just don't think it would quite look right. So yeah, we've gone with that, I believe, at this stage. In any case, keeping this rear bumper just helps us out. A couple of little stress cracks and things like that, but that's nothing. Obviously, the fitment side of things, source all that as we go. That's what it's in for. So yeah, we don't need to use these. I'm pretty sure we don't. In any case, I've briefly explained to him. I just don't personally think they're going to suit the look of the car. They're not going to flow. You've got a relatively thin body line here. So extending it to that sort of width, it works for this section here, but directly it gets up to there, it just wouldn't look right, and it'd be just very difficult to mold something like that into there. It would be possible, but I just don't think it would look right at the end of the day. I do think we should be able to get enough clearance there. It does look very tight, but I can always space it out a little bit on the bottom still. There's things we can do, so let's have a look at that in a second. Whip all this back off, bumpers, etc. back off the car, I think. We'll have a look and see what we need to do with the quarter panel behind. Right, so I just put it on blocks briefly, just at the moment, just to compress the suspension on this side to see what it's going to look like. And I think we've just about got there. We've got clearance now. I thought it was going to be tighter than it is. But obviously, because of the camber, the wheel goes in and away from the arch in any case when it's down low. So yeah, I don't think it's going to get any tighter than that. I have kept it, I've had to space the back section, well, this bit here. This is all spaced out quite a lot more than I ideally wanted. But I was a little bit concerned about, I don't know how much suspension travel it's going to have, so we need to be safe, I think. But that should be about right. Pretty sure anyway. I thought, like I said, I thought it was going to be a lot tighter than that, actually, the way that I had it, but yeah, should just about work. This helps us out. Next step, take it all back off again, do some more trimming on the inner arch now, and figure out some sort of way of tubbing it all, making it waterproof. Yeah, see what we do next. I've only got one hand, but to try and show you what we're looking at, these wide arches, this is difficult. The wide arches, they're going to have a gap. It doesn't show it on the camera, but there's a good, what, 1.5 inch gap there. And the same on the back as well, between the new over fenders, as it were, and the original quarter. So that's what I was talking about from the tubbing side of things, and waterproofing and all that. Obviously I'm going to need to trim back the original quarter panel and the inner arch as well. Make it a little bit higher there. Haven't quite figured it out yet. I'm not sure how much suspension travel this one's going to have, but we'll make it safe to what I think is going to be a safe level. I'll probably end up welding the inner and outer sections together or something like that then. And then we need to have some sort of barrier, I suppose, between here and the fiberglass when we come to it. I might wait until that's all bonded on first. I might fiberglass it on then. Yeah. See what we end up doing with that. But first of all, cut out some more section there, just so that we've got leeway for the suspension to travel, and then see what we've got going on from there. This is the way I've chosen to do it. So we're just welding in a small section, we're just tacking in a small section of metal there to start with. Obviously I'll continue going down further when I make sure it all works, but we'll just trim this section here, tack it on from the back as well, make sure then that the over fenders fit as they should, and I'm expecting them to. Shouldn't be any issues. We have found some further rust down here. The customer was actually asking me the differences, or what I thought between shot blasting and dipping. This one has been shot blasted, so I guess this is a fairly good example of what shot blasting is good for and what dipping is good for. Dipping would have got obviously further into all of this and removed all the rust potentially, but yeah, shot blasting, you can only blast what you can see at the end of the day, so when you've got sandwiched layers between the rust inner and outer arches, can't do much with it from the shot blasting side of things. Anyway, different story altogether. We will cut that out where we need to, treat that. It's all hidden at the end of the day behind this in any case, but we will cut it all out, put new metal in there. Not necessarily going to make it look pretty because it is all going to be hidden. And the way that I'm doing this kit's never going to come off again. Or whoever does try and take it off is going to have a serious problem anyway. So yeah, it's not going to be pretty the way that I'll do it, but I'll make it structurally sound. Yeah, for now, just tubbing this. Trim this off, tack it in, pop this back on, check it all works. Go from there. Got a bit carried away. So I've cut out a good chunk of it. Yeah, you can see where the previous arch was. So that should be enough clearance, I hope. Obviously just tacked in at the moment, not finished off, not done the edges. I just wanted to get that top piece in to be safe first and then check it. I'll chuck the wheel back on now. Again, not finished off the back edges at all. Yeah, let's pop the wheel back on and see what we are looking like before going any further. I think that should be good. So the suspension's still loaded up on this corner, still got it on the blocks, it's down on the floor now, so the wheel is up. I've had a decent jump around inside it as much as I can. I'm not the heaviest, but I can't make it go anywhere near close to the new under arch that I've welded in there, so I think we should be good. It's going to be quite a stiff car, this one, so it's not going to have a huge amount of suspension travel anyway. So yeah, I think that should be it. We've still got our nice gap on our new outer arch. It's tight, but it'll clear. And I said before, the more suspension travel we have, the more that the top of the wheel is going to go inwards in any case. So we should clear, no problem at all. I'm still working my way down, cutting all of this out. But yeah, just wanted to get it back together just to make sure that that is going to work. I think it should be fine. So basically all I've done is welded the original inner arch and outer arch together. So we're just making it a waterproof membrane again, and I'll obviously epoxy it, underseal it, etc. and just leave it like that actually. So it's going to be our new arch. It's going to be our new arch liner basically. Yeah, coming along. Okay, I'm not going to pretend it's pretty, but it's certainly a lot better than that. Obviously done the inner sill now. I've just got to put a patch panel on the outside. Outer edge of this is pretty much done. Inner edge still needs to be welded on properly. It's tacked in a few places, but it's not welded on properly just yet or cleaned up. Again, totally hidden behind the over fenders anyway, so it's more just from the protection side of things, cutting out the old rot. I wasn't actually asked to do this, but it was there, so I have done it. Yeah, obviously protect all this inside bit now. Put the outer skin back on there as well then, and then I'll probably end up epoxying this and cobraing it is what we're probably going to do. I'll have to think about that, because obviously the over fenders go over the top of this as well, so we don't want the cobra in the way of that, but obviously we do want cobra on all of this on the inside. Yeah, it's probably a way to do it. Continue that little patch for now. Right, I think that's about where I'm going to leave it, to be honest. I could spend a bit more time tidying it all up, but in all honesty, it's really a waste of time at this stage. It'd be nice, just for my own peace of mind, really. But it's totally hidden, and I keep repeating that fact. It will be totally and utterly hidden. It is more just for the protection sake of things. So obviously, new inner and outer arch on this section, and then the top edge. If you can get it on the camera, let me... Top edge has just basically had a strip of metal welded solid between the two, inner and outer arch, all the way around. Obviously epoxy, seam seal, probably put it into cobra. Still deciding that, might underseal it, might cobra it, not sure. Depends how the over fender fits and how much gap there's going to be as to what I need to do with it really. Obviously I'll treat the inside at the same time as well, so yeah, next side now. Do the same again, and then we can actually start with the bodywork. Okay, so there's quite a bit of work gone into this just to make it look pretty much the same as it did when it first started, which always amuses me, but seam seals always looks messy when we first do it, as you know, but again, I've done it for the protection side of things over the aesthetics. So it is all completely protected. I know I sound like broken record, but this is totally hidden once the quarter panel or the new quarter panel goes on. So it is just literally a case of sealing everything together, making it watertight. So that's job done as far as I'm concerned. We can finally start getting the bodywork started on this one now. Then we'll start seeing some real progress. Milestone reached with the BMW. So the poly has been blocked down now for the last time. Just going around the car now and filling in all of the imperfections. So just got a lot of little pinholes and things like that around the whole car. You can start to see where I've been filling them in. It is quite difficult to pick up on the camera sometimes, things like this, but they are localized mainly on the front actually, where we put the new bib on and the fiberglass bits as per usual. So yeah, sand out all those pinholes first, and then I think I've just got a bit of tidying up to do on areas like this, here, and then door edges. Door edges is the biggest thing, dapping up the boot and the bonnet. Be ready for the next stage then. All right then guys, that's me done for another week. So the BMW has been completely blocked down now. This is its second poly stage. So it's blocked down with a 180, refined in a few areas. All the pinholes have been addressed. We've done a couple of very, very small alterations. So rear quarter, light recesses, boot lid, same again on this quarter. But yeah, nothing much really, nothing major. So pretty much all the bodywork was done at the previous stages, just refining as we go. I've worked on trying to keep the body lines, or trying to make sure that the body lines are absolutely as good as we can possibly make them. As I've said previously, this car really is, we are working with limitations massively. Just trying to rescue it really. But yeah, we are horrifically over hours as we stand at the moment. So I've really done as much as I possibly can. It's going to be going into our wet on wet epoxy next, and then into our 355 high build spectral range, not going into the classic car range, this one. The budget is just not there for it, frankly. So yeah, into the spectral high build next, 3 layers of that, sand it down, we'll be ready for color. So not far off. As always guys, hope you've enjoyed watching the content. If there's anything specific you want to see in the next videos, do let me know. Or if there's anything you want me to concentrate on, I'll try my best to get that in there. But we've got more work coming up on the Skyline. More work. I have started the Escort next door, but I haven't shown much of it on this week's video. Yeah, that's ongoing. What else have we got? The Jag's going into paint next week, that's the plan. Either the Jag or this one. Just waiting to hear back to figure out which one is the priority on that side of things. Yeah, start getting these cars into colour. Cool. Catch you guys next week.